Hello and welcome back to Classic MGB. Now, if you've got an MGB, you've probably got one of these. It's a Haynes manual. But who knew that Haynes actually has a museum? And today they're hosting an MG celebration, a celebration of MG sports cars. So let's go and take a look. I'm here with Les Greaves. Now, he's probably got one of the earliest MGBs that I've ever seen. Les, tell me about your car.
Well, this is an early one, you're quite right. It's December 1962, so it's within 3 months of the model being launched at the September Motor Show. It's one of the few that didn't go to America. It was first registered on the 19th of December 1962 in Lanarkshire in Scotland. I even managed to get a tax disc with a Lanarkshire post office stamp on it. But it's largely original. In fact, it's really original. Original body. There might have been a few extra panels, of course, because the old tin rot inevitably took the floors out.
Sure.
And didn't do the wings any good either. But it's an original car, original 3-bearing engine, original 3-synchro gearbox, still positive earth. It's got the pull handles, and I aim to keep it that way.
How long have you had the car?
About 12 or 13 years, but it took me a couple of years to put it all back together again. It came to me, thankfully, with a finished body. The guy who repaired the body did a wonderful job, but the rest of the car was in crates. Boxes and boxes and boxes, and they weren't all complete. So it took me a couple of years to reassemble it all and find the missing bits.
Right, now I see you're a volunteer at the Motor Museum.
Indeed.
Have the people here helped you with manuals and stuff?
Yes, indirectly. I do have an original MGB Haynes manual, but it actually dates from an earlier MGB I had in the 70s. And I've also got the Haynes MGB restoration manual. Regrettably, it's earmarked towards later models of MGBs, but you can work that out. You can work out the differences, and there are so many differences between the early marks.
Sure. So, what is it that's so special about the MGB then?
Well, it's an iconic British sports car. I mean, for many years, until the advent of the MX-5, it was the world's biggest selling sports car. 500,000 sold, although something like 70% of them went to America. It's an affordable way into classic car ownership. Because the support clubs, the MG Owners Club and the MG Car Club, have got such a fund of information and knowledge and the ability to get the spares, there is almost nothing you can't get to replace on an MGB. So it's a perfect classic car to enter the classic car world.
So here at Classic MGB, we're obviously more interested in MGBs, but it's always nice to have a look at the odd other MG, and this one is MG Metro from the 80s. It's quite exciting, but not as exciting as this one. Now, originally this car had a V6 engine mid-mounted, and it was 4-wheel drive. This one's been modified. It's got a Sierra Cosworth engine in it, so it's 2-wheel drive only, but it still shifts. Here's a car that's actually owned by one of our local members at our Wessex MG Owners Club. It's a Sebring, it's a V8, great car. Now, in amongst all the MGBs, I found a rather nice MGC. And for those of you that don't know, how can you tell an MGC from an MGB? Well, it's quite simple, really. If you can't see under the bonnet, there's a bulge in the MGC's bonnet.
This car, strange number plate, Irish, first delivered in Belfast to a printing firm, then went on to another gentleman there who became the chairman of the MG Car Club in Northern Ireland, and he sprinted it and hill climbed it for a while, then went to his brother, came over to Yorkshire, stayed there for quite a long time. Then, like a lot of these old cars, history goes blank for about 20 years. And then it was fully rebuilt by a friend of mine for a friend of his about 6 years ago. Completely rebuilt, nut and bolt, and now I've had it for about 4 years.
So what is it about the MGB, MGC that attracted you? Why have you got one?
I'll tell you what. So we all love these old cars. They're usually the cars that our fathers drove around in, or mothers drove around in, or wanted to drive around in at the time.
Yeah.
And I distinctly remember as a child going to a garage with my father to look at a primrose yellow MGC, and we went out for a test drive. We absolutely loved it. He didn't buy it, but we absolutely loved it, and it's always stuck in my mind. And this is my second C, in actual fact. I had a GT before, and now I've got a Roadster. Probably should have kept the GT because it's more practical. But yeah, no, I love them. It's a lot of fun. You know, everyone slates them for not handling very well, but a bit of modern bushing and, you know, setting up the suspension properly, and they handle beautifully. And the correct tyre pressures.
Yeah, it's a bit of a misnomer, isn't it? When it was road tested, they didn't have the tyre pressures right.
Correct.
So autocars sort of slated it, didn't they?
Absolutely right.
Yeah.
And you know, typical BMC, you know, they issue cars to the press and don't prep them properly
Absolutely,
first.
Yeah.
you couldn't make it up.
Absolutely lovely car. Thank you very much
right.
indeed.
No,
Cheers.
Pleasure.
Now, a lot of purists think the chrome bumper MGB is the only way to go, but I like the black bumper, the rubber bumper. I think it has a certain style, and I think it has earned its place as a true classic. There's MGs of all eras, including these lovely TCs. I couldn't resist a few shots of these old, just post-war cars. These TCs really are beautiful. So we've just found another MGB, lovely condition again, and it's Rowley Willett's car. So Rowley, tell me about your car.
Well, as I say, I acquired it in 1988. A gentleman owed me some money and basically gave me the car to cover the debt. I had it on the road for about a year. It was originally teal blue. The original body had sadly rotted, so it sat in the garage for a while, then bought myself a heritage body shell, and a friend of mine who'd done an XK140 Jag rebuild then rebuilt this for me. Hence it's a carmine red Jag colour, not an MG colour. So all the purists moan at me. They say I've got the wrong grille on the front and the wrong seats and the wrong colour. It's not really an MG. But anyway, never mind, it's fun.
Now, a lot of people keep their MG for high days and holidays, but I hear you drive yours most days.
Yeah, I drive it at least twice a week, 3 times a week. It depends what I'm doing. I have 2 other vehicles, and it depends what I'm doing, how much I need to take with me, how much luggage, how many people. Because sadly, often it's not big enough to take everybody, so you have to take the other car instead. But that's life.
Absolutely. Yeah. And what's special about an MGB? Why an MGB?
Because you can do 40 miles an hour and think you're going fast, and it's fun. And I love driving up B roads and flinging it around corners, and you're not necessarily going fast, but you're enjoying yourself. Whereas you drive a much more modern car and it's just sanitized. This, you feel the road.
So that's it. That's a breakfast club at Haynes Motor Museum celebrating 100 years of MG. Now, if you enjoy our content, we'd love you to subscribe, click the bell for notifications, and give us a like. As always, thanks for watching and take care.